A family's new neighbors keep suing them for the heinous crime of having a basketball hoop in front of their house. The Moding family have lived in their Minnesota home for 11 blissful years with no issues. That is, until new neighbors moved in next door and had an absolute fit because their basketball hoop was 6 inches over the property line. 6 inches. So rather than tell their new neighbors to get the F over it and focus on a real problem like I would have, the Modings did the neighborly thing and moved the basketball hoop. Problem solved, right? Video over. Not so much. That wasn't good enough for them, so the neighbors then went to the city council to complain, saying that the hoop blocks the entrance to their home, which news footage very clearly shows is not true, and that they refuse to accept a situation where every time they park their car, quote, balls are flying directly at me. Which, if you're of a certain age, say it with me. Well, there goes your social life. Anyway, the city council was unwilling to intervene because this isn't a real problem. So then the neighbors filed a restraining order against the Modings to stop the Moding boys from trespassing anytime their basketball happens to go over the property line, which immediately got thrown out because I can't stress this enough, this isn't a real problem. But the neighbors were undeterred. They then filed a lawsuit against the Modings and the city of St. Louis Park, claiming that their basketball hoop was actually a sports court, as in a full-scale basketball court like you'd find in a park, and hence it was not up to city codes. Which really begs the question, have these neighbors ever been to a basketball court? Because it doesn't look like this. But they still weren't done. They then filed another lawsuit against the Modings to ban them from using their basketball hoop while these other court cases were in process. Meanwhile, the Modings, who are just trying to live their lives, can't actually afford any of these legal fees. So they had to start a fundraiser, and boy did their community show up. They blew way past the Modings' goal, and then the Modings then donated the overage to a local youth sports charity, rather than do what I would have done, which was use that money to buy an even bigger, more annoying basketball hoop, but that's just me. But Mrs. Moding says she has no interest in embarrassing or shaming her neighbors. She just wanted to teach her sons a lesson about standing up for yourself while also respecting the people in your community. I, however, have 3 Scorpio placements, so I do want her neighbors to feel embarrassed and shamed. Because if you can afford to throw your money around intimidating people in their own home over a basketball hoop, you can surely also afford to build a house in the middle of nowhere where you don't have neighbors and don't have to worry about being so bothered by other people existing. I hear Minnesota's countryside is beautiful this time of year. Move to it. Or alternatively, you could get a grip, find a hobby, and let the kids play basketball in peace because that's how living amongst other people works. Then take all that energy and focus it on a real problem, like teaching yourself to be a normal, decent person. I think you'll find it's a lot easier than all this.